Hey everyone, TJ Hernandez here, and I'm the founder of RosterCoach.com, a classroom-style video-based website that's designed to help you improve your daily fantasy sports game. Today's preview is from a lesson explaining how to manage risk within your DFS bankroll. If you like this video, please like and share it, and don't forget to leave a comment below. For a break-even percentage, we want to take the total number of winners in a contest in a single head-to-head. In that case, it's just one winner, and multiply that number times our entry fee divided by the total payouts in the contest. So because there's just one winner in a head-to-head, the total payout is equal to the prize payout, which is just $1.80. So in a head-to-head, we need to be winning roughly 55% of our games in order to break even. Equipped with this information, we can go ahead and explore the potential downside of a specific bankroll plan. In this case, we want to see what our worst case scenario is if we implemented the 90-10-10 rule, which we talked about in lesson 1. So 10% of our money in play and dedicating 90% of that money to cash games with no more than 10% in GPPs. Sticking with our $420 bankroll that we calculated in the first lesson, which is a $100 initial deposit with the option to reload up to $20 each week. If we put 10% of our money in play each week, then we'll be playing $42 going into week 1. And if we take 90% of our $42, then we'll be playing roughly $38 in our cash games in week 1. For this example, we're just going to assume that all those cash games will be $1 head-to-heads. This is a strategy you should be implementing anyway as a new player. Assuming you have a certain amount of money to spend on any type of game, you should be buying into the lowest stakes games possible. Not only because the skill level in theory will be easier at those lower stakes, but because you run the risk of introducing yourself to very high variance if you play at higher buy-in levels. For example, say we have $25 to play in cash games, you're much better off playing 25 $1 head-to-heads than entering one $25 head-to-head. The reason being that even if you have a very good lineup, if you play against just one other lineup, there is a significant chance that you can lose. Whereas if you're playing against multiple opponents, you're more likely to see the true return on the value of your lineup. So again, we just want to calculate our potential downside given this very conservative bankroll strategy. And since we're only going to be playing $1 head-to-heads, our weekly cash money in play represents the total number of head-to-heads that we'll be playing. So our expected value in week 1 is going to be the number of cash games we play, which is about 38, and we're going to multiply that by our expected value per game. So again, just based on pure luck, we expect to lose about 10 cents per head-to-head that we enter. And we just want to lock that number in because we're going to drag that across. And we see that if we buy in for about $38 in head-to-heads, we'll expect to lose on average $3.80, given that we don't know our skill level and we're just leaving it up to luck if we win or not. And what we want to do is calculate our full season potential downside to see how much we could be in danger of losing if we don't increase our skill level by the end of the season, which obviously is very unlikely. So all we have to do is drag this formula across our table, which takes us from week 1 through week 17. And I've hidden columns 4 through 16 just for the graphics sake. One thing I immediately want to point out is that assuming that we did lose a couple dollars in week 1, you'll notice that in week 2, we aren't playing the same dollars in play. We're playing the same percentage of our bankroll in play. So after losing $3.78, our bankroll in week 2 will be $416. We want to play 10% of that. We don't want to play $42 again. The reason being, if you find yourself in a scenario where you have a very bad week, especially right off the bat, if you lose $42 in week 1 and then you go in week 2, play the same $42, after week 2, you're down $84. So you're down 20% of your entire bankroll. If you just stick to percentage of money in play and stay consistent with that number, then you keep your variance down, and it will ultimately help you be a very profitable player just by implementing a solid bankroll strategy. And we see here that a player that is just 50-50 to win in a head-to-head for the entire season, they will expect to lose about $60 in head-to-heads over the course of the season. Now, that might not seem like much if you're playing with a $420 bankroll. You might think that you can be much more aggressive with your bankroll, but then once we factor in our GPPs,